guys, it's Amory, and today I'm here to bring you another recent reads video. I've finished 3 books this week, which is pretty cool, but 2 of them I had started in late April because I finished all the books on my April TBR, and they're both bigger books, so I figured I'd just get a head start on them. And then the last book I read in like 2 days, so there's kind of a big range of reading times in this stack. So let's just get right into it. The first book that I finished recently was Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. Okay, first of all, this was 100% a cover buy. I bought this after seeing it on BookTube from one of the UK booktubers, and I got it on Book Depository last year, and it's just so pretty. I love it. I actually was trying to see if I could order like a poster of this so that I could give away this book, but it's so pretty. I just love it. I think I'm gonna have to keep it for a while just so I can look at it whenever I need something beautiful to look at. But anyway, so this is basically a retelling of the Rumpelstiltskin story. We're following this young woman named Miriam, and she is a Jewish woman living in it's a fictional country, but I think it's supposed to be Russia. And she is the money lender's daughter. And her father is the money lender, but he is not very good at being aggressive and getting their money back. So Miriam grows up poor, but then when she gets to be about 18, she's like, I want to live more comfortably. So she takes over the money lender position and starts being very aggressive in getting her money back. And with the proceeds of this, she is able to hire a servant named Wanda. And then we also see she becomes connected to the local duke's daughter, Irina. And these 3 women become entangled in a situation with the Starrick, which are the local ruling power, and they're magical, and they basically take over and make winter every year. But now they've started making winter last longer, and it's becoming an issue because people's crops aren't growing. And so Miriam becomes entangled with the Starrick king and starts working to make him stop making winter so long every year. So this was a interesting book. I listened to it mostly on audiobook while I was doing my walks at night, and it was interesting. And Miriam and Wanda and Irina are both very interesting characters. This is a multi-perspective novel, so that it follows Wanda, Miriam, Irina, and then Irina's husband and some other people that become important throughout the novel. So it was interesting. I enjoyed it. I'm not a huge fairy tale retelling person. The one thing that I will say was kind of interesting or kind of confusing is that I never really understood why the Starrick were making winter longer, because at the start of the book they imply that it's because winter increases their power, but then at the end of the book it's resolved in a way where they can never make winter again, or not again, but they can only do winter when it's the normal time of winter. So it struck me as being kind of unresolved. But overall, I really enjoyed this, and I would definitely recommend it if you're interested in fairy tale retellings. The next book that I finished was Eyre Tempest, Soldier, Spy, 4 Women Undercover in the Civil War by Karen Abbott. This is a nonfiction book following 4 women: Emma and Vincent, who was a soldier in the Union Army, Elizabeth Van Loo, who was a Union supporter living in Richmond, Virginia, Rose Greenhow, who was a spy for the Confederacy living in Washington, D.C., and then Beth Boyd, who was a spy for the Confederacy who lived in Northern Virginia. So we just followed all 4 of these women. It's a narrative nonfiction, and we follow 1 woman each chapter, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it repeats the pattern, and we just follow these women, and we see how they were very influential, and particularly the 2 Confederate spies were very good at what they were doing. And also Elizabeth Van Loo would hide soldiers in her house and Union soldiers, and she was very good at doing that. And the one thing that this book really made apparent is how these women manipulated the stereotypes of women. Like, for example, the two Confederate spies would hide things in their petticoats, and when they were stopped, you weren't allowed to search women, really. And so they got away all the time because there was this like modesty issue and where you couldn't search women because it was immodest, which is totally ridiculous in wartime. And also like Emma Edmondson, she had like a feminine voice, and like her her co-workers, the people in her regiment, the men in her regiment were like, oh, she's very feminine, we're gonna call her Dolly. You know, it's like, she's feminine because she's a woman, but the idea that a woman would fight in the army was just so ridiculous, and it didn't even occur to them to think about that. And so yeah, it's a really interesting book. I definitely recommend it if you're interested in Civil War history, women's history, or if you're just looking for a good narrative nonfiction book. Yeah, I really recommend this. Finally, I read Rise and Shine, Benedict Stone by Phaedra Patrick, and this is Phaedra Patrick's second book, and I read her first book, The Curious Charms of Arthur Pepper, in the late March. And I'd always had this thing where I had told myself I was going to read Curious Charms first, even though the two books aren't related at all. I just always felt like I wanted to read that one first. So I finally was able to pick this one up. Unfortunately, this was kind of a disappointment for me. This is about a not a young man, a middle-aged man named Benedict Stone, and he is a jeweler in a small town. And his business isn't doing very well, and his marriage is on the rocks, and he's sort of in a rut with his life. And one night, his 16-year-old niece, Gemma, shows up at his doorstep. And Gemma is the daughter of his estranged brother, Charlie. He hasn't spoken to Charlie in 18 years, once Charlie moved to America. Oh, he lives in England, I should say. And so Gemma shows up, and she basically overturns his life, completely flips it upside down and makes it more exciting and more, just more fun. And she starts trying to get him and his wife together. She helps him remodel his business and get some more sales. And she also just gives him an enthusiasm for life again. So it's very much one of those cute, it's very much in the vein of like Curious Charms, where there's a man, he's having some issues like enjoying life, and then somebody comes and helps him pick up his life again. But the problem with this is like, okay, Gemma is super annoying, and I get it that she's a 16-year-old girl, but like, she is super annoying. So like, all the time she was in the book, I was just like, oh my gosh. And then also, okay, Benedict, when she first comes, he Googles Charlie, but he Googles him by typing in Charlie Stone, and it brings up like a bunch of different people, and he can't find his brother. But then he never tries to like contact police or like call directory assistance in his brother's town, or like do any kind of substantial like searching to contact his brother to tell him that his daughter is here. And then it's just like ridiculous. And Gemma tells him that she's lost her phone, and he doesn't like force her to call the airline or like even call it himself. So it was just kind of like dumb and unrealistic, and I was so annoyed like all the time while reading this. So yeah, I was disappointed in this. I give it 2 stars. It is cute, and it is a palate cleanser, and I would recommend it if you're looking for something really light to read during this time. But overall, I was not impressed with this, which is really unfortunate. So currently, this morning, I started Murder at the Brightwell by Ashley Weaver, which is the first book in the Amory Ames series, and I heard about this one on Olive's channel, and she really loves the series and always talks about it when there's a new one coming out. And I've been trying to make more. I want to start reading more mysteries outside of March Mystery Madness because I like mysteries and I don't know why I don't read them year round. But yeah, so this is a mystery set in 1932 in England, and what is it, England? I think it's England. It doesn't say, but I think it's England. And it's about Amory Ames, and she is helping an old friend persuade his sister not to marry his fiance, who the brother thinks is a douchebag. So, but then the fiance winds up dead. So far the fiance has just been murdered. So I don't know what else is going to happen, but so far it's good. And also this month I am doing a Treat Yourself month where I just pick up other books that I'm excited about reading, and I've decided on two more. I've decided I'm going to read The Flatshare by Beth, and I'm also going to read Transcription by Kate Atkinson. And these are both books that I've been interested in for a long time, and I'm looking forward to getting to both of them. So that's all I've been reading lately. I hope everybody else has been reading some good books and you're keeping safe. Today is Friday, May 8th, and so far I am doing well. I'm actually going over to my parents' house today. I haven't seen them in person in 2 months, so I'm really excited. My dad is being very serious about the coronavirus, and I have to wear my mask, and when I get there, I have to wipe down my suitcase and all the stuff I'm bringing to the house. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to seeing them. I hope everybody else has a great weekend and that you're reading some great books, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!